I can't hear anyone. You're all looking great anyway. So I'm going to tell you a very seasonal story that I wrote around this time of the year. In fact, it's just at the end of the last century, that's a little bit ago, but it's still quite relevant, and it's about a little leprechaun called Shamey, the leprechaun. Now, some of you that go to the forest, you'd have heard of him because he's very famous in the forest, right? And he was a bit of a boisterous leprechaun, so his mother threw him out at about 3 and a half and told him go away and find your own place. There's no room for you here, because they'd all kind of having a bit of a hovel, but he was a bit boisterous, like I said, and he'd be throwing things around the place, so she fired him out. And he went away and he found this tree that there was a little bit soft bit in it, so he poured out hewed out a bit of a hollow for himself. And he went in, but he had a fascination with birds' eggs. And he'd go away after they had all left the nest, and he'd find the egg, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle, trying to get this bit now and put that bit together and trying to get the food. And he'd figure out that this was the robin's egg now, and he'd put the top on it and figure out, and there might be 3 robins gone, and he had to figure out which one was which. And he liked the wren's nest, and the crows wouldn't come around now at that time, but he'd have frightened them all off. They'd stay well away from him. But he figured out all the bits of the eggs, and he gathered about 25 eggs the first season. And he looked around the hovels now, where was he going to put it? So he had to hew out a bit more, and he had to make a bit of space up here and a bit of space over there. And he put them up anyway, and he made shelves for them, and he counted them one night, and he was up to 67. And there was a bit of a party on, and he decided he'd go to the party, and he met a warlock there. And he was talking to the warlock about it, and the warlock said, I have an idea for you. And he whispered to him, if you put a bit of this now, and a bit of that, and mix it together, and kind of spit on it. Do a little bit of that, and say this, I can't tell you now, because you'll all get it. And then rub it around the outside of the egg, and then they'll all be stuck together. Because that was a bit of a problem, was that sometimes the eggs would fall over, and the top would fall off it, and the bottom might go somewhere else. Well, he did that with all 87 eggs the same night, and Janie, he was delighted the following day, because he could roll them around the place nearly. They were so well stuck together. So he kept gathering a few more eggs and doing that now on them, and there he was flying all together. But there was another passing wizard, and he heard about him, and the wizard had heard about Shamey, and Shamey heard about the wizard. So they went and they met on the corner of the forest, because the wizard was a bit weary of the forest now. He said, I don't know what I go in there at all. There's a queer crowd inside that side of your forest. And he was right now. So he went away out anyway, and he met him. And he told him about all these eggs that he has, and that he got this thing and he moved them around. He brought out 3 or 4 samples, and there were lovely colours on them. And the wizard said, you know what now is that? And he said, oh, this handkerchief. They're lovely. But if you rub this handkerchief on them now, he said, and shine them up, there'll be a different shine on them now. And he got one of them and he rubbed it around. And it was a little blue egg, you know, the one now, the little speckles on it. And after rubbing, it didn't shine away mad. And it shined up the whole blue of it. Was nearly like it was nearly effervescent, and just looked absolutely fantastic. Well, Shamey went home anyway, and he spent the next 3 weeks shining up the 200 eggs he had gathered, and he shined them all up, and that was a fierce blow off them. He nearly didn't need any lamp some night. That was fine anyway. He was after gathering a few more in the meantime, when he heard of this witch that was going around. And she came into the forest, all right. She came in for a look, and she heard of this Shamey, the leprechaun, around the place, and she was looking for him. He heard she was coming anyway, and he went away up the tree and had a look from down the top to see what was she going to be doing. And she came a bit close to the hovel, and with that he jumped down anyway, and jumped out and said, hello, how are you? And she said, I'm grand altogether. I heard you have a few eggs gathering. So she wanted to have a look at the eggs. So she had a look at the eggs anyway. And she said, you have a few of this type of tree around here, and that type of tree over there. You know, the hazelnuts over that one. and the oak trees over there, if you get it, you can get them, and the ash trees behind you, and you have another one over there. I'm not sure what the name of that one is now, but I'm sure you do. There's a hot chestnut. Oh, you have them all right. Anyway, if you gather them together and if you mix them in these proportions, you put a bit of that one there and a bit of that one there, and kind of gather them up and do what it is, and spit. Don't spit in the notebook, spit in your fingers and then rub on it and kind of jab it. And she showed him what to do, and she had to put colours on them. Colours that weren't on the eggs at all before. He had them all the colours of the rainbow, and they're shining up and glowing and everything. Jenny Mac, he was over the moon. So she went away anyway. She was delighted. She had met Shamey the Leprechaun, and he was delighted. He had a few things to do for that winter. Well, he was after gathering up about 642 eggs at this stage now, and there was another party on around the corner. And he got friendly with the fairy at it, like, a very nice fairy she was now too. And he invited her over for dinner one night. So she came over anyway, and she had a look at all these eggs, and she looking up and around the place, and she said, "Yeah, you've been busy." He said, "I have, yeah." He said, "Well, now that when I get an egg now, I piece it together, and then I have to do and all around, and it holds it together. And then I get this cloth and I shine it up, and it is dazzling. And then I go out and I pick a few. Well, I have to wait until the two together, and then I gather a few different colours and I dab them on, and they're great all together." And she said, "Would you be up for making a bit of a concoction?" He said, "What do you mean? A bit of a dessert, like?" "Yeah, grand all together." So they went away out and they gathered a few. She went anyway and she gathered this one. She gathered this one here now, and then she gathered that one over there. And she told the names of all the herbs she was getting, and she put them all together, and she shoveled a bit of dirt into it. He was looking at her going, "What's that?" "Oh, for the texture," she says, "and a bit of colour." So put it into the cauldron anyway. He didn't have a very big cauldron at all, but stirred it up, and next thing anyway, the thing started bubbling because they had it heating. And she said, "Right, it's ready now." "What do you mean now it's ready?" The thing was bubbling away up. She said, "No, we have to take it out of the cauldron because it'll go solid as a rock in about 5 minutes." 5 minutes? Where are we going to put all of this? The size of the cauldron now is big for him, like, but quite a large cauldron, and he was wondering where was he going to put it. So she turned around, and a few holders there behind you. If we cut a little hole in the top of it and get a leaf and fill it in and give a bit of the concoction in. We had to hurry now quick because it'll go solid as a rock if we don't do anything. Well, Jerry Mac, that was the fastest 5 minutes. He all took down his 694 eggs anyway, and he laid them all out in a bit of a line, and he took a leaf in all of them and spilled a little bit into every single one of them. He went as fast as he ever could, and the last little drop fell in, but he licked it off and put it. "Oh, Jenny," he says, "I'm looking forward to that dessert." "Oh, we'll have to clean the cauldron first," she said. "Clean the cauldron before dessert?" "Oh, yeah," he said, "if we don't clean it, it'll be rock solid, you'll never use it again." So they had to go way down to the river anyway and clean the cauldron. Jenny Mac, he never cleaned up before dessert ever. But anyway, as he was going down, he cleared the forest was empty and quiet. It's like today, these days the place is still quiet. And this rabbit hopped along and was hopping along, and every now and again he'd stick up his head, and the way rabbits are, and they'd come down and hop along again, and every now and again he'd stick his head a bit higher and sniff what was going around the place. Well, he got a lovely aroma, and he kind of seemed to kind of hop over this way, and he came over to this hovel, and he's sniffing away, and he put his two paws up on the hovel and pulled himself right up into it and looked in, and his eyes gleamed inside because the sun just happened to come in the gap of the hovel and lit up the whole place. All these shiny objects, all the colours of the rainbow. He said, "Am I after coming to Aladdin's cave here?" Because rabbits can talk, Well, he said, I'll just have to see what they are." And he put his two paws in and he grabbed the one nearest him. And he was going to, the way rabbits are, they kind of keep cracking into it. He didn't like the outside of it. He was sticking out. And then he got off the top of it and he had a look. And it looked kind of black or dark brown, like. So he bit into it. Well, if he did, he got the most fantastic sensation that rabbit ever had before in his life. My goodness, he said, this tastes absolutely gorgeous. And he bit into another bit, and he was not aware of it there now, like that killing thing. So he put that down and he said, I have an idea. He said, I have a load of friends in the forest now. I bet if I took a couple of these now and left one at Badger's door and one at Fox's door and one at my other friend the rabbit and one at Peter's house, I'm sure, you know, they'd be delighted with them too. And if I just told them, have a look outside, we could hide them and have a bit of crack. That'd be great. The next thing, it kind of got dark all of a sudden. And he was wondering, was he here that long? It was only just after midday. And he turned around to see what was gone wrong. Because the sun had disappeared, right? And there was Shamey the rabbit. I'll have to stand up a small bit now because he's standing up like this, as tall as I am now. But it's very tall for a rabbit. And looking down at the rabbit, he said, I know what you were saying. The leprechaun can understand rabbits now. So he said to the rabbit, he said, no way are you taking any of my eggs. I've spent too long gathering them together, putting them together, going around the top of them, shining them with the cloth, and then going out gathering different berries and painting them. And then I'm just after putting that concoction in, and no way are you taking that out of them pockets. Well, the rabbit said, he turned around and said, I'll fight you. Ha! Jamie was in hysterics. He said, do you know who I am? And the rabbit looked up and he said, no, who are you? He said, I'm Shamey the leprechaun. The rabbit said, so, I'm Peter Rabbit. So he said, I happen to be the forest champion arm wrestler. So he said, I'll arm wrestle you for it. The rabbit said, no problem. He said, I've never been beaten. I'm going around this forest boy and I've taken on the best of them. So, no problem. I'll tell you what, I'll share a piece of over here. Now, I'm normally right-handed, just for you, because you're a little rabbit. I'm going to use the left hand, just for the crack. Give you a bit of head start, like. And the rabbit said, if you don't mind, I'm a little bit smaller than you. I'll jump up onto the seat. No problem, said Shamey. And he put his hand up anyway, and he was all ready. And the rabbit put up his left paw as well, but it was a little bit smaller than the leprechaun's hand. And you know, they started and they were going like this, and the leprechaun, they take it easy. And I'm like, you know, you're only a rabbit. So the rabbit anyway had a bit of mechanical advantage, and he knocked Shamey's hand over. Well, Shamey was distraught. Oh my God, he said. I have never been beaten before. And now to be beaten by a rabbit? Jenny Mac. I'll tell you what, Peter, he said. You beat me fair and square, no unfairness here. I'm hanging on to those eggs a bit long, and there's no space left really in the hopper. So I'll tell you what. There's a bit of a festival coming up. Will the two of us go out the day before, and we'll hide them around the forest next to all our friends, you know, the rabbit and or the badger and the fox down the road. Yeah, and so we'll do one for the owl and one for the eagle, and so we'll hide them all and we'll say nothing. And then on the morning we'll tell them, go out and have a look, we left the present for you. Well, now that's how the Easter Bunny started.